Good morning, everybody. How you all doing? Welcome to the Be Weird broadcast. We coming at you live from Montreal, Quebec. It is very early in the morning, 7:15 here. How you doing? From wherever you are in the world, we're going to be checking in on the Canadian freedom rallies that have been going on for 2 weeks now, everybody. 2 weeks. We'll be keeping it chill and sane, hanging out with YouTubers and Twitch chatters, whole 9 yards. What do you guys think of this bit music? Goes hard, eh? Goes so hard. So hard. So yeah, I got a bunch, as per usual, a bunch of news sources lined up from yesterday, and we'll take a look into those and get onto the live streams. Yes, Loud Tyrant Youth. I saw like 13 days or 14 days. We're there. This is no longer like a little protest. This is like a full on. This is happening. This is happening. We're having a full on far right, like, not revolution because they don't have the numbers, but agitation. Yeah. It's the length of this really changes the whole tone. So let's hop into it. Let's see what we've missed. Let's see if there's any good memes to laugh at. I'm just loving this music so much. It's ridiculous. Last number I remember grasping was like 10 days or something. Yeah, I lost count as well. But it's definitely, it's a little, it's past the max point, let's say. It's far beyond the max point. There's some stories I came across that were pretty gobsmacking. So we'll check those out. Now, let's go. Alright. Just want to listen to this music. Some of it's a bit too, like, hyper. But this is just the right amount of, like, smooth jazz. Smooth bitrate jazz. Okay. You miss a shift, you can't pay rent. Trucker protest keeping Ottawa workers from working. That doesn't seem very fair and based and cool. All right, kill the music. Goddamn. Gotta kill the music.
Well, certainly here in Ottawa, a large number of people are affected by this demonstration and its cost on the city.
CTV's Tyler Fleming now on one woman who's paying an unfairly high price.
When protesters converged inside the Rideau Centre on January 29th,
they came in, started yelling and screaming at people.
Many protesting mandates and many entering unmasked. For the sake of safety, Rideau Centre management decided to close.
Everything that's going on right now is just scary.
To add to her worries, Roberta Arledge, who works full-time at a locally owned shop in the mall, could no longer get paid.
It's bad. Like, it's when you don't work and you're working $15 an hour, you miss a shift, you can't pay your rent.
Oh my God, yo, that's no emergency fund. You can't handle 2 weeks. That's bad, man. That poor woman. Oh my God. Like, the standard is you have like 6 months in the bank for like weird shit that comes up. You know, you lose your job all of a sudden. She's lasting 2 weeks. That's how threadbare things are getting. Like, this is part of the reason, like, so much pressure is built up. Man, my heart goes out.
And it's stressful.
There's also the cost of groceries and transit.
And I know for myself, I have no savings. So it's like one shift, I'm gone.
The Rideau Centre has remained closed for 11 days, leaving more than 1,500 people from earning a living.
And I called unemployment, and they only have COVID relief benefits. They have nothing for if there's a lockdown or shutdown.
On Monday, at an emergency meeting, city councillors motioned for more support.
Asking the federal and provincial government for immediate intervention to relieve employers and employees who've lost wages and lost income because of this occupation in our city.
Councillor Mathieu Fleury says the call was heard and is pushing for a rapid response to the request.
And it's critical, right? It's pay for food, pay for rent, pay for transportation, childcare.
And maybe come up with
It's a sin, though. That's not a fault of her own. Yeah, I mean, it's like good sense, but sometimes like you just can't get a leg up. You're like always chasing. It's called the poverty trap. So you can't even get like an emergency fund going. Like that's when things start to get really dangerous for society. When this becomes normal, yeah.
fund just for a few $100s just to help us out.
There is some relief for Arledge. Her employer was able to provide some shifts at a store in Bayshore Shopping Centre.
I thank him very much.
But what she wants is the freedom to return to her job downtown.
They're doing this for their rights. Then how could they tell me to take my mask off? I mean, I have a right too to wear a mask and keep a job.
Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
Yeah, that's the part I always get.
Well, good
like,
evening,
why
Bert.
do they feel so entitled to be just like, but you're not allowed to do that thing though. Okay, Ottawa Police. Message to demonstrators from the Ottawa Police Service. It is a criminal offense to obstruct, interrupt, or interfere with the lawful use, enjoyment, or operation of property. The offense is known as mischief to property. Huh. What are they talking about? We are providing you notice that anyone blocking... Okay, here we go. The unlawful act of blocking streets in the downtown core is resulting in people being denied the lawful use, enjoyment, and operation of their property. Fair enough. Property rights. Property rights, everybody. We found a way. We found a way to get there. We can enforce the law. We just got to enforce property rights. There we go. We are providing you notice that anyone blocking streets or assisting others in the blocking of streets may be committing a criminal offense. You must immediately cease further unlawful activity or you may face charges. You could be arrested without a warrant for this offense if you are party to the offense or assisting others in the direct or indirect commission in this offense. Wow, so that means police can now just go around and start arresting people. Whether you're released on bail depends on factors contained in the criminal code. Offense-related property, including vehicles, may be seized as part of the offense. The vehicles may be detained and, following a conviction, possibly forfeited. If anyone's going to the trucker rally with company-owned material, that's going to be a big problem. I'm sorry, you did what with my car? You know what I mean? Like, as the owner, like, sorry, what did you do with my transport? Charges or convictions related to the unlawful activity associated with demonstration may lead to denial in crossing the USA border. Wow. So now these people's jobs are really on the line. The police are basically, they're finally flexing on February 9th, yesterday, in the afternoon. So not even at the beginning of the day. Holy shit, they're late to the party, man. That is incredibly, incredibly late. The blockades in Windsor and Ottawa are endangering jobs, impeding trade, threatening the economy, and obstructing our communities. They must stop. I spoke about that with Ford Nation tonight. Our teams will keep working to support Ontarians and get the situation under control. That's Justin Trudeau talking. Woo! All right, okay. Ooh, geez. And apparently the Trucker Convoy Organizers Coalition proposal, a non-starter, expert says. So let's see if this expert's going to say pretty much what I've been hypothesizing, guessing at.
Good evening. We begin tonight with no resolution, no negotiated settlement, no break in the anti-vaccine blockades, either on Parliament Hill or the Canada-US border crossing, now doing the most damage. Over $400 million in trade moves across the Ambassador Bridge in Windsor every day. Now, after 3 days of delayed supplies, Ford, Toyota, General Motors, and Stellantis are all cutting production.
Wow.
And in some cases, sending workers home.
Literally
it's
stepping
driving
on
a
the
wedge within communities and the industry itself as their message becomes more diluted by the day. CTV's John Venevali-Rao begins our coverage.
Diluted.
Some are now calling this protest a kind of national hostage-taking.
I want the mandates gone. I want Trudeau out. That's
Wow.
number one.
Wow.
And we want our freedom back.
Oh, yeah, just want to
With a
overthrow our
relatively
government.
small group shutting down a huge part of the economy and vowing to stay put.
As long as it takes.
If I got to pitch a 10 here, I will.
For a third day, the Ambassador
luck.
Bridge was essentially closed, except for a trickle of trucks allowed to head stateside.
They're on day 11 and they haven't started pitching tents, guys. I don't know how well this this protest is gonna last if they don't got their tents up.
Check out the massive lineup of rigs at an alternate crossing in Sarnia, nearly 2 hours away, where truckers have had to detour. and
Oh
wait.
my God, these assholes. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my word. They're doing it. They have successfully put their thumb in the eye of Canada. What's Canada going to do about it?
4 to 5 hours to get into Canada.
I cannot believe like this is legal to close the road, close the border.
It's not.
I don't think this is freedom, man.
Yeah. Wow. He got it. He figured it out pretty
The
quick.
blockade at the nation's busiest border crossing has started to lead to trouble for automakers. At a Ford assembly plant in Oakville, the union says workers are seeing their hours cut in half, with parts being delayed and production scaled back.
That'll shaft them hours of service wise if they're actually running. Yeah, and especially with the production, like we're gonna see it. It's gonna be a huge hit to the trucking industry. There's gonna be like purity tests going on. A whole underground culture. Like, I got fired by my boss for going to the truckers convoy. Fuck.
I have no idea how many parts they have, or we don't know what's going on next week, right?
There's even worry in the White House.
We are also monitoring very closely and engaged with auto companies on what the impacts could be of auto parts, which is what would come from Canada, and the impact on the United States.
And if we got to do stuff like this to get attention, then that's what we have to do.
Protest.
You could have just tried using your words or like, you know, arguments.
Mr. Jim Doig feels they've got little choice but to hold firm.
To say you want to overthrow the government's ridiculous. We just want these mandates dropped. I'm here fighting for my kids, and I will stay here as long as they don't put me in jail.
So far.
Okay. He seemed fairly reasonable. He seemed like he had a specific purpose and disagreed with the more ridiculous nonsense. And like knew where his limiting point was. I respect that guy, even if I disagree with him about the mandate shit.
Just 4 tickets have been issued in Windsor. The mayor says he's formally asked provincial
You'd love to see it.
and federal officials for more resources, saying this needs to come to an end.
I'm not saying that to suggest that we're going to go in with battering rams and 1,000 police officers. That may not be the solution. But there has to be a resolution to get this border crossing open so that we do not impact the economies of the United States and Canada.
The mayor feels
the most powerful nation on the planet, its economy is being threatened by some truckers who have commandeered their company's vehicles.
Forced removal would inflame the situation, though many of the protesters we talked to said they won't go unless the Prime Minister resigns.
When this convoy originally was all about truckers protesting, now it's truckers being protested, being prevented from doing their jobs of putting food on our tables and supporting our manufacture.
As for those trucking delays, some warn it could soon affect the freshness of produce on grocery shelves and say the prices for food could go up. Lisa.
Everyone is holding their breath.
Nice.
All right, John.
I love it when the price of food goes up. It's always a good way to start the day. Higher food prices. It's my favorite. So this is from the Washington Post. I won't read it all, but it's interesting to note the way that the American right is trying to use truckers as a wedge issue to kind of like creep their way into Canadian politics. I worry that it's starting to work. By now, you've probably heard about the protests underway in the Canadian capital, Ottawa, a number of truckers, yada, yada, yada. In demonstrating loud, incessant opposition to a vaccine requirement implemented by a leftist politician, the truckers have become heroes to the American political right, and that has meant the concomitant appearance of misinformation, political posturing, and frustration for the Canadian government. It's useful to assess how Canadians feel about the convoy. There's not a lot of polling on the subject, but we do have some indicators. Polling published Monday by CTV News found that Ottawans are quite tired of the protest. 9 in 10 say it's time for the protesters to leave. With 2/3 opposing the effort overall. That is incredibly damning. Wow. That's not just a majority, that's a significant majority. Yeah, exactly. Holy cow. About half of residents oppose it strongly, but then this is to be expected. The point of the protest in part has been to be disruptive. There doesn't seem to be recent national polling evaluating the effort, but a survey conducted by Meru Public Opinion last month found that fewer than 3 in 10 Canadians felt that no vaccination should be in place. 30% of Canadians apparently felt that no vaccination requirement should be... Okay, yeah, so a third of Canadians are like, we don't think these vaccine mandates are required. And that might be qualified by the time. I don't know if that's just because of where we are now, or if that's just like how they feel all the time. A third of respondents said that truckers should be able to carry cargo over the border if they showed a negative test for the coronavirus. It's important to note, as Trudeau has, that most truckers are already fully vaccinated. I keep hammering that point. The Canadian Trucking Alliance estimates that 10% of the country's truckers have not been vaccinated. At the end of January, the government said there was no sign whatsoever that the recently implemented rule had reduced cross-border carriage. What is very clear, although this is seemingly less and less true. Less and less true. When was this published? This must be at least a day or two old. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. Well, we're kind of done with that article. It's definitely noting like where Canadian opinion is. Hey, Lacey. Wow, the people have spoken. I feel so disposable as an autoimmune compromised individual. Yeah, I mean, the cruelty is the point. Is when you really dig deep into like far right conservative thought, or just far right thought, it's usually just boils down to the cruelty is the point. But hey, here's the brighter world, everybody. Look, some good news. Some good news. And no, Lacey, you're not disposable. Just some minority weirdos who've forgotten how empathy works are just like embarrassing themselves. Just like pay them no mind, essentially. Researchers confirm newly developed inhaled vaccine delivers broad protection against SARS-CoV-2 variants of concern. Isn't that interesting? Scientists at McMaster University who have developed an inhaled form of COVID vaccine have confirmed it can provide broad, long-lasting protection against the original strain of SARS-CoV-2 and variants of concern. The research, recently published in the journal Cell, reveals the immune mechanisms and significant benefits of vaccines being delivered directly into the respiratory tract rather than by traditional injection. The laboratory and the researchers are part of McMaster's global nexus for pandemics and biological threats. Because inhaled vaccines target the lungs and upper airways where respiratory viruses first enter the body, they are far more effective at inducing a protective immune response, the researchers report. Isn't this interesting? Very novel, very strange. The repeated preclinical study, which was conducted on animal models, has provided the critical proof of concept to enable a phase 1 clinical trial. Oh, wow. That is currently underway to evaluate inhaled aerosol vaccines in healthy adults who had already received 2 doses of a COVID mRNA vaccine. The tested COVID vaccine strategy was built upon a robust tuberculosis vaccine research program established by Zhao Xing, a co-lead author of the new study and a professor at the McMaster Immunology Research Center and Department of Medicine, and apologies for probably mispronouncing that name. What we've discovered from many years of research is that the vaccine delivered into the lung induces all-around protective respiratory mucosal immunity, a property that the injected vaccine is lacking, Xing says. Currently authorized COVID vaccines are all injected. Interesting. We wanted first and foremost to design a vaccine that would work well against any variant. The McMaster COVID vaccine represents one of only a handful developed in Canada. The urgent work is a critical mission of Canada's global nexus for pandemics and biological threats, which is based at McMaster. Yo, Canada represent. Really? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's go. Canada leading the way. Let's look at this. Oh, God, the cookies. The cookies. Okay, yeah, I don't understand any of this stuff. 2 trivalent adenoviral vectored COVID-19 vaccines were developed and evaluated. Trivalent, like valence and tri for 3? 3 valence? Adeno? I can't remember what adeno is like you're, as someone with a lot of previous respiratory concerns, I really look forward to learning more about this. Yeah, well, here's the study. This is the horse's mouth. This is as close to the source as you can possibly get. But oftentimes it's really hard to understand. Like if we zoom in on this, wow, that is extremely blurry. What the hell is this? View large image. Okay, so let's see here. spike domain, nucleo something. Yeah, it's just hard to read. I guess I'd have to find the paper. Oh, I guess the problem is you won't have access to the paper. Yeah, sorry. This is as good as you can get. I could pull it up on my university, but I mean, I don't think I can just like hand that over. I don't know. I'll probably get in trouble or something. Okay, let's move on. Good news, everybody. Now for some extremely bad news.
A Manitoba man says a demonstration convoy last week led to a harrowing experience on the highway as he tried to rush his 82-year-old sister to hospital.
A little panicky, there's no question about it, but I managed to get her there. That was the important thing.
Terry Tichkowski says he was trying to get to Boundary Trails when he got stuck behind the convoy. The 74-year-old who lives in Morden said it took an hour and a half to get to the hospital, a trip he says normally only takes 5 minutes.
Wow. Wow.
I didn't have a cell phone. I don't own a cell phone, so I couldn't phone
Doesn't
anybody to tell us. I just kept waving and honking my horn. And
But that's their sign. When you wave and honk your horn, it signals that you're part of the protest. No wonder they didn't understand. They probably couldn't hear you over the sound of the horns.
I couldn't get the attention of the people leading the protest.
Oh, sacre bleu.
In a statement, RCMP say in part the situation is completely and utterly unacceptable and cannot be repeated. Manitoba RCMP will continue to closely monitor these demonstrations and will not tolerate any blocking of roads or highways which lead to hospitals.
Wild. Wild. I am so hard-nosed now. I'm like so radicalized by this fucking convoy. Y'all blocking hospitals. Like, oh God, it's just so callous. It's tough because like how could they possibly know that this guy is having a medical emergency in his car? But it's principally the reason why cars and trucks don't belong at protests. People belong at protests. You're showing people power, not car power. Like it's upsetting. Okay, so now let's look at one of these people's experiences. This is Sarah Ann. She looks like she's got a PFP of her husband, and her 2 kids in a car. It's a cute picture. She says, we honestly had a horrible time. We honestly had a horrible time there. Not from the people involved, but definitely a very different code than Ottawa. My husband and I drove out truck. We couldn't get down the road by the park, so drove up and down Yonge Street. Misspelled Young. We were given the finger and told to fuck off more than we have in our entire lives. We had one guy stand in front of our truck and wouldn't move while screaming, "Fuck you, get the fuck out of my city." We tried to tell him to move so we could. He wouldn't. A huge crowd gathered and the cops took their time to come and move him. It was not a good experience at all. I love being a part of this amazing movement. A part spelled wrong. But I don't think we will ever return to Toronto. But I did hear that closer to the party was amazing. Wish we could have gone to that party. Change your clothes, buddy. You've been wearing the same clothes for a week. How's it going, Alberto? I think my favorite part is it was not a good experience at all. Just reads like an Airbnb, like Airbnb, Ottawa downtown core. Went there with whole family. Someone wouldn't let us into the core. Told us to fuck off and get the fuck out of this city. 1 out of 10 would not recommend. Like, yeah, what do you expect? It's been over 2 weeks. Nobody's sympathetic anymore. Y'all blocking hospitals. Y'all blocking ambulance drivers. Y'all protesting hospitals. It's game over. It's game over. No Canadian that you might have convinced that's on the fence is convincible at this point. While on my way today to cover the Ambassador Bridge trucker protest, I stopped at a truck stop in Woodstock, Ontario, where I met Ted McNeil. He had to take a 5-hour detour to get his truckload of food into Canada. He shared this message to those protesting COVID-19 mandates.
So, just because they don't want to get a vaccine, I just think it's ridiculous. What would your message be to other truckers who are blocking your routes right now?
Stop it. You're making us look bad. I'm trying to do my job. You're making everybody look bad. Plain as, I understand you don't like the mandates. We're all frustrated. Everybody in this North America and the world is frustrated. It's got nothing to do with the government. It's everybody has to pitch in and do this. It's not a Canadian thing. It's a world thing.
Wow, he gets it.
I understand. Everybody's frustrated. I'm frustrated. I've worked right straight through this without time
I'm frustrated.
off. Stop it. You're not helping. You're just making more and more people mad at us. So.
Yeah, see, that would really affect his hours of service. Yeah, if he has a bunk truck, he can at least sleep and get around it, but otherwise he would hour out. Yeah, exactly. Like only so many hours that you're allowed on the road, right? Like it's extremely tightly regulated, excuse me. You know, like how much time people spend on the road, like how fast they can go, how long it takes you to offload. All these things are very tightly regulated. Because like I think there is a whole problem with like truckers being incentivized, or there's like these bad incentives set up where they'd sort of go beyond normal human limits, sort of push themselves, and they fall asleep on the road and cause damage and die and stuff like that. It was really fucked up. Okay, things are heating up. This is Press Progress again, good old trusted source. Next step is civil war. Big money convoy donor says Ottawa siege may be Canada's last hope. The next step is they all go back and they have a gun in their hands. This sounds peaceful and normal and cool. Very, very normal, very sane thing to be saying because people were asking you to put on a mask. One of the wealthy donors who helped bankroll the convoy that has occupied Ottawa streets for nearly 2 weeks says not only does he stand behind his donation, but believes acts of civil disobedience against public health measures are Canada's last hope before civil war. Yeah, this is Canada. Is this Canada? I thought we lived in Canada. Please don't show up with guns. I think the thing that's so fucking funny about that is that like most like Canadians own gun, but we own fucking like hunting rifles and like shotguns and like snipers and shit. Like there's a reason Canadian snipers are like the best in the world. It's because so many of us fucking hunt out in the wood, hunt buck, hunt bears, hunt fucking moose. My own family hunts moose. We used to. It gets harder and harder as people get older and shit. But definitely, it's a thing. It's not like America where everyone's like got handguns in the cities and shit and like AR-15s. Like we don't even have the same military mindset. It's incredible to me. No, exactly. You're not going to go shoot a random. Yeah, this is all just posturing. It's a bunch of people, internet warriors. As the so-called Freedom Convoy approaches its second week occupying Ottawa, Mayor Jim Watson has declared a state of emergency. An Ontario court has issued an injunction stopping all-night honking, and over 200 hate incidents have been reported to police, including that attempted homicide on the lives of dozens of people in a residence. We covered that story. We'll probably cover it again, because I can't get over the fact that someone tried to arson a bunch of people. Ottawa's police chief is now requesting thousands of reinforcements to break the convoy up. Leading up to the far-right siege of Ottawa, convoy organizers raised over $10 million through GoFundMe before the crowdfunding platform shut down the convoy's account on February 4th, stating that the convoy had violated TOS, prohibiting the promotion of violence and harassment. Super peaceful, you guys. CBC News reported a large number of these donations came from unnamed and foreign sources. Huh. Oh, is that so? Many donors use satirical aliases, including Justin Trudeau and Theresa Tam. Golly gee, I wonder what's going on. Good morning, Raven. How's it going? Cheers. Yeah, I mean, this is looking like I've been following Dark Money in like conservative circles. Alberto is a fan at this point. Yeah, I think so. I think Alberto just enjoys being like the dissident. He's like looking in on the lefties. He's like, so this is how they talk and think. Hey Beebs, how are you doing this morning? 50% of the Ottawa police have resigned rather than face military tribunals for crimes against humanity. 50% of Ottawa police force have, let's see if that's true or not. It would be incredible if it was true. This is something I heard from other sources, is that slowly is very much like a reformist, and he's not necessarily supported by the rank and file. And that might be why we're seeing a lot of sort of like mixed enforcement standards. Resign. Let's just say resign. We'll skip the military tribunals for crimes against humanity because the police are not the military. Police are domestic. Okay, I'm not going to explain it. I'm just going to skip that one. Okay, so AP knows, quite literally the most trusted name in news in the entire world, on the entire planet, posts falsely claim 50% of Ottawa police quit over protests. That's odd. Claim. Half of the police officers in Canada's capital city resigned on Monday in support of protests against vaccine requirements. AP's assessment. False. There's no truth to these claims, according to both the Ottawa Police Service and the Ottawa Police Association, a union representing the vast majority of officers in the agency. To date, none of the OPA's 2,000 sworn or civilian members have quit over the protests. Not even one? More crossing points into the U.S. are being secured every day. Globalist elites are pissed, losing revenues hand over fist. What action will they take to force the population to submit? Good question. That's a very good question, Beebs. The facts. Protests led by a convoy of truckers against vaccine mandates have not prompted half of Ottawa police officers to quit, contrary to claims made by one protest advocate. Okay. 50% of the Ottawa police force have all turned in their resignation today. Hey, we found the source, everyone. It's our favorite white supremacist. Hey, Beeps, why are you taking the word of outed white supremacists at face value? I'm curious why you're spreading the almost exact words of someone who we have covered on this channel in your presence, saying white supremacist things. You know, the whole like great replacement theory. What's going on there? Hey, Beeps, you wanna explain to the chat why you take Pat? Even the conservatives in my chat are like, yo, I think Pat King's a fraud. So what do you say to the conservatives in the chat who think Pat King is full of shit? Social media users seized on the clip, sharing it across some dude honking his horn. Yeah, old man yells at cloud. Fuck, old man honks at cloud. Oh god, we have to meme. Oh god, it's fuck, man yells at cloud. Oh, okay. Oh no, but maybe at cloud, maybe we go this one, and then we just change the word yells to honks. Can we do that? No, I think we grab the other one. Oh man, you grab this one. And we go. Old man honks at cloud. Right? Is that it? Am I right? Is this is this the meme? Save image. Okay. All right. We'll meme after. I think that's okay. Moving on from AP. History will not soon forget the petrol rebellion in Ottawa, in which people bought petrol cans and filled them with random liquids to stifle the government's attempt to take away their freedom. All right, everybody, we're going to see some real revolutionary action here, everybody. You guys ready? Gird your loins. Wow. Look at the resistance. Holy cow. I cannot believe there's actually DMCA music on this. But yeah, look at that, everybody. They are truly rising up. Truly patriots. Truly patriots. There you go, everybody. You wanted revolution? You got it. You got yourself a revolution. GoFundMe confiscation was massive theft. Oh, wait, I'm missing some great lines here. Hold the line! Fuel that was stolen is being returned. 80-year-old 4-foot man that was attacked by burly, manly police officer. We covered that yesterday. Released. Massive lawsuit coming, no doubts. I I mean, police officers have wide latitude, huge amounts of discretion in deciding what constitutes reasonable force in order to effect an arrest. I think, Beebs, you're going to find out police have a lot of power. And if you don't like that, and you and I agree on something for once. Beebs, do you know what terms of service is? If you violate terms of service, you lose your shit. Very simple. The old man deserved to be arrested. We saw the video. Yeah, he was like blaring his horn immediately after he resisted. I mean, it was a pretty weak attempt at resist, but yeah, he definitely wasn't like, I'm complying, officers. Even though only 4 other of your compatriots are watching, the NSA is also watching. Think Space Force. So one of the reasons I want to become a Twitch affiliate is because I could get incredible emotes. And one of the emotes I really want is this one, Pet the Chud. But I want it like redesigned so it's like the Canadian flag instead of the American flag, because that's, yeah, exactly, Lacey. So like when we're all being entertained, we'd all like spam the emote, Pet the Chud. And like, oh, cutie, you came back. How's it going? Because we love Beebs Relly. She's funny. And word spoken. Wait, spoken word or? Remember, every keystroke and word spoken is immortal. Yep, Beebs, welcome to the internet. The internet does remember, except in certain places where the internet gets shut down, like in India. COC, joint statement from Canada's unions on the Ottawa occupation from the Canadian Labour Congress. Hey, I like those people who fight for labor rights. They're usually pretty based. Canadians' unions have fought for generations for the right to protest. This is a cornerstone of our democratic system. But what we have witnessed on the streets of Canada's capital over the past 13 days is something different altogether. So 13 days, that's what I'm thinking about, 2 weeks, yeah. This is not a protest. It is an occupation by an angry mob trying to disguise itself as a peaceful protest. No period. We have seen an occupation of city streets and parks, disrupting workers, businesses, and residents. Frontline workers, from retail to health workers, have been bullied and harassed. We have witnessed noise attacks, keeping families up at all hours. And just to really drill down on this, anytime, this is where you most likely get gaslit. This is the opportunity to gaslight people. Oh, what? Just a little bit of sound is making you upset? And it's like, yeah, you're lying to me right now. Stop lying to my face. We know what's going on here. We have seen right-wing extremists spreading messages filled with racism and intolerance, flying the Nazi and Confederate flags alongside other symbols of violence and hate. We have seen organizers not only demand the end of all public health rules, just end them all, just fuck public health, but also call for the overthrow of our democratically elected government. Where's the lie, conservatives? Show me the lie. Show me the lie. The problem is that, yeah, it might only be a few that flew it. And yeah, it might only be a few of the executives that wanted to overthrow. And yeah, sure, the horns on their own are not that bad, but when it goes on at all hours, and oh, sure, it's just a few people harassing retail and health workers being bullied and harassed. But taken together, all of a sudden, it doesn't look or sound so fucking peaceful. You gotta get me to, what is the saying? Don't believe your lying eyes. The leaders of this occupation include people who espoused Islamophobic, anti-Semitic, and racist hate on social media, some of which we've confirmed on this channel. Organizers of the notorious far-right yellow vest protests, and people spreading extreme conspiracy theories and calls for violence, again, as we've seen in this chat, even just a moment ago. This is an attack on all of Canada and not just the people of Ottawa. True disinformation tears societies apart. Canada's unions stand together, unequivocally opposed to these vile and hateful messages, and condemn the ongoing harassment and violence against the people of Ottawa. This is one of the major reasons why I think this protest has lost all credibility and is absolutely a far-right movement of just white grievance and economic anxiety. So, wow, ZP, am I living in your head? Huh? Am I living rent free in your head? Why don't you enjoy your little time out, okay? Why don't you stop being a snowflake and melting down because there's a little bit of criticism, you snowflake, and come back when you're a bit more hard and can handle a public chat room. Man, this occupation of Ottawa streets on top of the latest wave of the pandemic is having a devastating effect on the livelihood of already struggling workers and businesses. We actually started today listening to one of these workers who is so poor that just losing 2 weeks of work is having a significant effect on her, and she might not be able to pay rent because she can't fucking find work. So yeah, people in the labor class are absolutely getting clapped. Workers are being harassed and bullied for just trying to stay safe while serving customers. Not a good look. Other businesses are being forced to close, which leaves them and their employees suffering economic losses they can ill afford. Stephen Murdoch, searching the YouTubes and subbing to live streamers under 1,000. Keep calm and honk on. All right, Stephen, you have a good one, man. This occupation has also raised serious issues about an uneven application of policing. Authorities spent the first week taking a hands-off approach to the occupation of city streets and parks, not even handing out parking tickets as big rigs blocked busy intersections and local businesses were forced to shutter. It's honestly amazing to hear a labor rights, like these are unions, and they're talking about the importance of fucking capitalism. What am I reading? It's amazing. This is a far cry from the kinds of crackdowns we have seen in the past towards Indigenous land protests, Black Lives Matters, and other equity-seeking activists or striking workers. This is something I can personally attest to, and also something I've seen in reporting. Over the past 13 days, we have seen an unacceptable lack of leadership from those charged with maintaining the peace and defending public safety. Once the situation has been resolved, Canada's unions believe it is vital that there should be a full investigation into the response by all levels of government to this occupation. Wow, they are pissed. The Omicron wave is still affecting our communities, and Canada's healthcare systems are inundated with patients and plagued by shortages of nurses, doctors, and healthcare workers. This is especially true in Quebec. Canada's unions believe it is absolutely critical that public health decisions are based on science and not on politics or an angry mob. We continue to call for strong occupational health and safety measure for all workers. Canada's unions call on the federal and provincial governments. Oh yeah, thanks for the subscription, Stephen. Canada's unions call on the federal and provincial governments to work together and quickly deliver urgently needed direct supporters. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, so that's how they feel. This is where the CLC is. Trudeau slams. This is BBC. So this is how the Brits are looking at our politics right now. This was in the House of Commons not too long ago. Reported just 8 hours ago. But the BBC is usually just like a bit delayed on us. Trudeau slams unacceptable protests as police warn truckers. Defended the COVID restrictions. Here's the key quote. Blockages, illegal demonstrations are unacceptable and are negatively impacting businesses and manufacturers. We must do everything to bring them to an end. Protesters are trying to blockade our economy, our democracy, and our fellow citizens' daily lives. It has to stop. Yeah. It's pretty much certainly just going to make them dig in deeper. Oh, we really got under Trudeau's skin. It's like, you know, he represents a bunch of people who are going to be really pissed at you, right? Like, it's always a bad idea to have as your political thesis piss off the majority of the people in the room. Like, what are you doing, my guy? Like, it's just bad math. Oh, here's Scheer. Oh, he's giving the thumbs up. Look at that, everybody. Now we know where Scheer is. Hell yeah, brother. He says truck yeah. He says truck yeah. I believe in liberty. Yo, go back to America. Go work with some corporate interests. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, buddy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that, buddy. We're really happy with what you're doing. Thumbs up. A-okay. Totally normal business. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. All right, let's clear this out. Ambassador Bridge blockades will have lasting effect on supply chain, experts say. So things are actually starting to hurt. You guys
backup goalie in hockey, the Blue Water Bridge has suddenly been called into action because a couple of hours away in Windsor,
just gonna fix
protesters are still not letting trucks cross the much larger Ambassador Bridge into Canada. This man, who calls himself Greg, defends the ongoing blockade.
Why do I think I have the right? Why does any protester think he has the right to do anything?
For 3 days, shipments have...
Jesus Christ, what an absolute self-own. You just admitted you have no idea why you're there, man. What are you doing?
Been diverted and slowed down, frustrating many driving those delayed rigs and infuriating industries that count on speedy deliveries.
It's a huge challenge.
We're probably going to try and find Russell Brand on this. He's usually a pretty good font of information.
For all the
and misinformation.
Industries involved, for all the employees involved, and of course for just the flow of goods to final citizens, to consumers, it's just it's staggering actually.
The auto industry is especially dependent on those shipments and thousands of jobs.
It is breathlessly stupid for a group that wants to inspire people to join their movement to put those same people out of work.
And now
roll that back, my guy. Oh my. The Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association. Let's
dependent on those shipments and thousands of jobs.
It is breathlessly stupid for a group that wants to inspire people to join their movement to put those same people out of work.
And now,
and here we are formally requesting additional resources.
Windsor's mayor is asking for federal and provincial help, including more police officers.
Yeah, the bridge has to open. This is becoming insane. Like, what? We're actually stopping our economy for this bullshit? Like, what? Who are these people? Did we vote for them? I don't remember asking these people to direct my economy.
Is there a timeline to get this resolved?
Again, it's
today,
as
tomorrow?
the situation unfolds. We're not going to discuss our operational plans. Public safety is the #1 priority, and we're looking to restore traffic flow in the area.
As pressure to shut down this protest and reopen the bridge to incoming trucks intensifies.
Is this North Korea? Like, these people don't even... I doubt this man has ever left Canada. Like, I have been to North Korea. The demilitarized zone. As close as you can possibly get to North Korea. This man knows not of what he speaks.
Action may inflame the situation and certainly cause more folks to come here and add to the protest, and we don't want to risk additional conflict.
Back at the protest, I asked Greg about that.
And the carbon tax, which apparently politicians in the Conservative Party do want to end, even though it's a conservative idea. Support Alberta oil, even though oil is causing climate change. Build the pipelines, which, again, see point #2. Spreading misinformation is dangerous and idiotic, especially with a smartphone in your hand. Do better. I'm going to fly a huge North Korean flag on my car. Oh my God. You're going to get so much hate if you do that. And like from all over the place, left and right. I don't know, man. I don't know.
They decide to...
what is the North Korean flag?
To break this up. What are you guys going to do?
And oh my God, I've been calling it... Sorry, I meant Best Korea. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, I was calling it the old name. It's Best Korea, not North Korea. Jesus. What is wrong with me? Is that it? Yeah, there you go. Look. Best Korea flag. He couldn't even write Trudeau. Look at that fucking dummy. Screw the globalist elites. Defund the CBC. Yeah, these people hate the CBC.
There'll be some resistance, just like Black Lives Matter resist.
Nothing's likely to change in Windsor until that city gets the support it's looking for. Near here, there was a brief protest, but they moved on. The unofficial concern, a second block bridge, because as difficult as this situation is, that would be significantly worse. The change in Windsor until...
Look at this guy's name. He must be Irish. Super Irish. How do you pronounce that? Is it Sean O'Shea? Or is it Cian O'Shea? It's got to be Sean. What an interesting spelling. I've never seen that before. Okay, moving on. Okay, this is from the Quebec subreddit. 2 men were seen taping the front door handles. Trucker protests. Security cameras show 2 alleged protesters attempting to set Ottawa apartment building on fire. Setting a building on fire while locking people inside. Is this freedom? That's where we're at, everybody. That's where we're at. Truckers or these people still defending this movement are legit, like, not seeing how unhinged and crazy this is getting. Yeah, exactly. I'm dead. I'm dying. Yeah, exactly. It's like, guys, like, words have meaning. Okay. After telling her cultists that Fox News arranged an interview with her, this is from the Public Freakout subreddit, Queen Romana Digiulo of Canada ambushes a Fox News team on the streets, who then proceed to promptly ignore her. This sounds amazing.
Oh yeah, got it. Very quiet. This is where they were, right
She's
here.
in Canada.
There they are. Queen, Your Majesty to the left.
Your Majesty.
Right here.
Are they actually going around calling her Your Majesty? Is that actually? Yeah.
Right here. Right here. There's this lady. Right here. There you go.
Are you guys Fox News? Yes? I'm Queen Romana of Canada. How are you? Nice to meet you. Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, how are you, Your Majesty?
I'm well. How are you?
I do apologize.
It's all right. No need to apologize. Are you willing to do an interview with the Queen of Canada?
We're done for the day, but we have another crew that's replacing us here. And they might use that stuff. How's that?
Definitely, yes.
They're mollifying her. So there's going to be second, there's going to be a second opportunity. Is that okay with you? Still haven't gotten a good explanation as to why they think the government is being malicious with restrictions and mandates, and don't tell me to control cause. That makes no sense. And no, they fundamentally misunderstand. Like, if you push and you push and you push, they start off with the government doesn't have control over their bodies. And you're like, well, wait a minute. They're not forcing truckers to get the vaccine. They're just forcing them to take a test. And then they have to walk it back to, well, the government shouldn't coerce people. And then you say, well, listen, are all public health measures wrong? Are you against vaccines in the schools, which we use to protect against vaccine? And they got to walk it back again. Well, we shouldn't be using experimental technology. Well, it doesn't matter how far you chase it. They will always retreat. It's called moving the goalposts. And it's part of why you won't actually get a good explanation. It's just going to be a variety. It's going to be a carousel of bad explanations, essentially. And what you do is you just keep moving the carousel. You keep cycling through bad arguments. You might be losing ground. But if you never admit any shame, any acknowledgement of defeat, or if like that the other person is right, you can tire out the person you're talking with. And they just go, well, I guess we're just going to have to agree to disagree. And that's kind of what you like what we're seeing a lot of the time. Yeah. The only good thing to come from this is that now I know this lady exists. Yeah, go follow her on Instagram or something.
And they're Fox News. They're just my replacement. We're just wiped. We're tired. We haven't eaten, and we're cold. And we're getting back to the hotel.
All right. Provide me their contact information.
He's right there, Michael, and his reporter and producer are around somewhere, so they'll be here shortly.
He's like, go ask him yourself.
I'm Queen Romana of Canada. How are you?
Please.
Ready? Nice to meet you.
How did you know my name?
But of course.
Oh.
I have my details.
How did you know my name?
Ready? Nice to meet you.
How did you know my name?
But of course.
Oh.
I have my details.
Uh-oh.
Yes?
Uh-oh.
I came here specifically.
He's laughing.
And your team.
Why?
Right.
Because I would like the entire country and the whole world to know that Canada now has a new queen.
Oh. That's a normal thing for people to go around saying.
Are you ready to do an interview?
No, I'm camera tech. I don't know.
He's just the camera tech. Oh, this fucking lady, man. Oh my god. Oh my god.
No worries. No. I'm just
a good idea to
Your
wait.
producer.
Producer is back in the hotel.
He has business card.
I do not have business card.
He's not a reporter. He's just setting up. The reporter's going to be here a little bit later.
All right. Well,
Let him set up, and then we can get
She was already told this. Viva Frey netted over $1,000 in donations in 1 hour. Yeah, I mean, good for him. He's on the ground. He's doing reporting. He's trying to cover both sides of the protest. He deserves that success. Good on him, man.
Business card, if you guys have any. Don't tell me Fox News doesn't get a business card.
I have some somewhere, but they're in my messy office.
Oh, your messy office. Where's your office?
My office is in Northern Virginia.
It's the first opportunity you guys have to break the story that Canada has a new queen. And
You could get the expose, everybody. Not this, whoever is recording this right now, who clearly actually got the scoop on the story. Because that's how we're finding out about this, right? The scoop that we have a new queen is coming through public freakout, heavy waisted crowd. Stop, internet. Just stop.
you don't seem to be interested, yeah?
I had no idea.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's
exactly.
actually fucking
So,
funny.
I'll make sure that your Commander-in-Chief of the United States Army is aware of that, yes? Okay.
Look how heavy her crowd is, chat. Just got deleted off Snap for not accepting Canada as communist. Chris Sky 14-minute speech is sure to make him a national hero. Who knew?
So these are my staffs. You guys, if you want to do an interview,
They have badges.
you contact these guys, okay? All right.
Lol.
Thank you. And Michael from Fox News.
So this flipped from please give me an interview to if you want an interview, contact my people. And they're like, yeah, okay, we'll get right on that.
Your name is?
My name is Jesse.
Jesse. And what is your role here? What is your role here?
He's just support staff, just another random person you're talking to.
And do you have a contact information?
I don't have a card.
He's support staff. Why would he have a card?
Come back a little bit later.
No, I don't have time.
Oh, she doesn't have time to broadcast this extremely important information that she is the new hero. Holy hell, that's funny. Some people are diabolical. Oh my god. Okay. So to some of the people who had concerns about the risk of heart inflammation, it seems like scientists are starting to look into varying the schedule for vaccines to see if that can help address those concerns. Changing vaccine guidance to lengthen time in between doses of certain vaccines because of the risk of heart inflammation. More time between the first two doses of the mRNA COVID-19 vaccines appears to reduce the risk of myocarditis, a rare type of heart inflammation seen in some after getting an mRNA vaccine, and it could improve the shot's effectiveness, researchers told the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices. Okay, well, there you go. Blowback. Ottawa tow truck operator receives hundreds of threats from both sides of convoy. It's going sideways now. I should never have done it. Absolutely. Randy May describes himself as a patriotic Canadian who supports the Freedom Convoy, calling it a do-or-die situation for truckers. So when Pat King, one of the protest's chief organizers, put out a plea on social media last night asking for help moving the group's Confederation Park staging area, May, a 48-year-old tow truck operator, answered the call. It was May's advanced towing and recovery rig that hauled away the wooden kitchen and cabin structure. Ah, so that's how it got taken away. AKA the Convoy Cookhouse. Ooh, a contentious icon and reminder of the protesters' possible permanence from Confederation Park to Coventry Road, another of the protesters' staging errors. This sentence is way too long. The blowback May received was perhaps not surprising, given the heated partisanship and volatility surrounding what many are now calling an occupation. What did take him aback, though, was the sheer magnitude of the response, with hundreds of angry callers phoning and threatening him and his family night and day. Super normal, everybody. Y'all are super normal people, calling someone and threatening his family for doing his job. Woo-wee. Sounds like y'all have run out of arguments. Additionally, he says, the haters have come from both sides of the issue, with convoy supporters ganging up first when they thought he was moving the structure as part of a police effort, followed by the anti-convoy contingent when it became clear he supported the protest. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, Beebs, being the fan you are. Yeah, Beebs, if you're not a subscriber now, I don't know why you aren't. You're missing out on quality value. Get in on the ground floor of this incredible political commentator who tells it as it is and is able to listen to both sides without losing his head. You know, the debate scene needs is another cool-headed Canadian. Really, that's what we all need. All right, moving on. Truckers misrepresenting employers by joining Ottawa protest, companies say. Several firms try to disassociate from protests as website names and shames. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. People are getting canceled. It's also the whole kids and trucks thing, which is kind of fucked up. Oh, ad. So yeah, companies distance. For instance, the Nova Scotia trucking firm Seabird Transport told CBC it doesn't support the convoy, but one of its trucks was photographed as part of the protest. The convoy and the related protests do not represent beliefs or values of Seabird Transport. Okay, all right. So yeah, they're trying to tuck tail. So one thing I wanted to bring up while we were watching the Queen of Canada, there's a really important leadership lesson going on here. I'm less interested in the Queen of Canada than her staff. And we're going to watch this video about leadership lessons, and we're going to see how the first follower and not the leader is actually the most important person in any movement.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous.
Like me.
But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial
The first follower, that could be you.
role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow.
Show
Notice how
him
the
how to
leader
follow.
embraces him as an equal.
Embraces.
So it's not about the leader anymore. It's
No.
about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in.
That could be you. Sharing these videos to your friends and say, yo, look at this streamer over here.
It takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself.
Can you do that? Are you brave?
Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader.
I'm a lone nut, but you can help me become a leader.
If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point.
Whoa.
It's proof the first has done well.
True.
Now it's not a lone nut and it's not two nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news.
Yes.
A movement must be public.
Yes.
Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader.
Did you hear that? New followers emulate old followers. That's you. So you're like modeling for new followers joining the movement.
Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum.
I gotta do this every stream. This is hilarious to me.
This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement.
Yeah.
As more people jump in, it's no longer risky.
It's no
If they
longer
were on the
risky.
fence before, there's no
All of you are taking a risk by being in a chat with so few people in it. Hooey.
reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry.
These are all the people joining the trucking convoy after they heard about it a week late. Yeah, Jay Roach.
And over the next minute, you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining.
Did you hear that? Eventually, I'm going to be so big, you'd be crazy not to be part of this community. Do you want to be one of those people, experiencing FOMO, fear of missing out? No, you got to get in on the ground floor, everybody. You got to be some of the first followers because new followers follow old followers.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals.
That's you.
Making everything clearly about the movement, not you.
The movement is Canadian political criticism that's chill and based and allows for multiple opinions to be in. If you like that, support the stream. Hoo-wee.
Be public. Be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is over-glorified.
True.
Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit. But you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement
True.
without the first follower.
True.
See, we're told that we all need to be leaders.
No.
But that would be really ineffective.
Can't all be leaders. Some of us have to be the first followers.
The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
Am I the lone nut doing something great over here, guys? That was actually way more on point than I ever thought it could be. All right. Let's see some live streams from the night before. This is from VidStorm.
Anything going on around here?
Doesn't look like anything's going on around here. Okay, we'll let this go for a bit. I'm gonna go pee and come back and find some
here to
extras.
make sure no one's messing with the trucks.
Don't mess with the trucks, everybody. All of this pointing enthusiastic
And/or
repetition is sending me. Yo, Log Tyrant Youth, I'm fucking laughing too. I'm gonna clip that. That shit was so funny. It's just like, it's like the best promotional tool I could have thought of, like, for any small, like, I just want to like spread the word for every small streamer. Just like, yo, you can riff off this. It's hilarious. Soy. All right, I'll be right back.
Nice.
Hydration check.
We can all work together on keeping eyes on this city and this whole situation as close to 24 hours a day as possible. It's going to be a lot more difficult for any funny business. No problem at all. Just trying to do my part out here, guys. I have a lot of respect for all the truckers and everyone else who's come out, shown support in any way, shape, or form. So this is kind of the thing I've signed myself up for. I'm a bit of a night owl, so.
Hey, US2. Fools driving around in circles at
Doesn't
Ottawa
bother
Airport?
me none.
Wow, they're blocking the airports now? No, stop. Really? I also have more people on Twitch and on YouTube for the first time ever. How's it going, Twitch chatters? I've like bled off all the YouTube hate, all the right-wing haters. They couldn't keep it up. One of the things I've learned about like patience is like it takes so much energy to be angry, and so if someone's ever being angry with you, and you're having a hard time dealing with it, you're like trying to maintain your own composure, you can remind yourself that it takes them so much energy to be angry, and that they're gonna run out, they're gonna spin out, they won't be able to keep it up forever. And I feel like that's really true of like a lot of the right-wing hate I've been getting, just like people just unhinged, just being like, you piece of shit, you know, just like, dude, are you doing okay? You're just like screaming at like 9 in the morning. Like, chill out.
Excellent, right on.
And yeah, they couldn't keep it up. You can't keep up that kind of energy forever.
Okay, so we got some signage getting moved around. I'm assuming probably decorating some new barriers that have been placed.
War campaign is live right now.
On the channel. Yeah, man. I just can't help it, dude. I swear, when I first saw him, I'm like, yo, it's Ricky from the Trailer Park Boys.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Hey, Julian.
So this is what the trucker convoy has looked like for most of the protesters. This is such a great view.
Ricky, you just got out of jail, Ricky. You just got out of
Oh, too good. Oh God,
Yeah,
no.
You know, hey, if you haven't figured it out yet, we're War Campaign, and we like to have fun. Rose on the scene. He just asked Pat King if he was Ricky from Trailer Park Boys, so that's pretty cool, you know. You saw it live. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Please like and subscribe. Support the truckers. Give, send, go.
Oh yeah, brother.
Love it, man. Yeah, man. You raised piss jug, says Dan Clifton. You know what, brother? I'm barely drinking coffee right now in the mornings because I gotta piss so much when the amount of caffeine I take in. So don't ask me how. Yeah, right now I'm like severely low.
I find with anger, you're the one left with the negative emotion after. Like if I get angry, the other person gets on with their day and I'm left sitting with this bad feeling for however long. Yeah, I think the saying that I really clung on to as a kid, it's like a Buddhist saying. It's like, anger is a hot coal that you throw at someone else. You're always the one who gets burnt. And I think that's really true.
Hold the line from New York with love. Hey, thank you, Mike D. We got Matt and Sex in the chat. Hey, brother, how you doing, Mossy? All the way in Florida. And he says, just don't piss in front of the truckers, bro. Hell, Mossy.
I'm actually sitting at 8 right now, Beebs. Thanks for staying on and inflating my follower count. You should tell all the people you know because, you know, you represent a different audience than other people in the chat. And you should tell them about me because maybe we'll get different and better opinions, you know, that we can talk about. And worse comes to worse, you know, we get some new chuds we can pet.
You never know. Yeah, shit, brother.
Aw, shit.
You ever thought we'd be here, Moss?
Look at this. Look at. Do you ever think they would ever be here in traffic?
Button hard, says Josh Hell, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
And two in the same. So I love the smell of diesel in the morning, and that's what we're trying to find.
I love the smell of diesel in the morning. Oh, fuck, it's so good.
Brother, thank you, Dominic. Appreciate it, sir. As long as the world wants to see what's happening here, we will be here streaming on the channel. So we're going to keep going, you know. Nomad says, I've got a freedom.
These people are in serious self-denial that this is not the most annoying movement they've ever been a part of. I'm sure after year 3, they eventually they run out of juice, right? Like your brain can't keep up the feel-good chemicals forever, and eventually the noise has to get through to them at some point.
Let's go, Brando, says Beth.
Let's go, Brando. Yeah, just say fuck Trudeau. Just say fuck Trudeau.
Caster Cat says, where are all the big trucks?
Have some balls.
Where are all the
Have some balls.
Big trucks. Yeah, good.
Have
Maybe
some
they're
ovaries.
coming up. I don't know how long this is going to last, what the plan is, but I'm just going to keep circling round and round, you know?
Wow.
That's it.
Yo.
We got
circling.
A freedom chat from Affiliate Dude. Affiliate Dude says, I'm in the UK. I only know what's happening via you and TikTok. Did a judge order fuel returned? Are the truckers staying fueled up? Yep. The fuel was returned, correct.
Wow.
Fuel, we were there yesterday on the ground, and no problems with fuel. I mean, nothing at all. So all that was returned. So thank you for the donation of 20 pounds.
Whoa.
And also the question. Appreciate that. We got Man of Sex. He says, I can't wait until you try your first lot lizard, big time big boy Gucci Goo. That does not sound like something I want to do, the way you described it there, brother. but they
that sounds a good way to catch a disease.
Linda says they took it away again yesterday. Yes, freedom!
Freedom!
So we'll find out. We're going to go.
I saw some video, police fuel cans and also taking wood, which I think...
No trucks? These are... you got to go with what you got, brother.
Is heinous. It's gonna take fire.
Not all of us can afford trucks.
Brethren,
some of us have to go in minivans.
Now says Ray. Actually, I saw yesterday. Listen to this. This really pisses me off because this guy's from the same, region, okay, that my family's from, Punjab. Okay, you got this guy. What's his name? Jaggy, right? Jaggy.
Right?
Jaggy.
Jug meat. Are you mispronouncing his name on purpose? How do you not know that?
Jagmeet, okay? He's going
fuck?
on about how
is he mispronouncing his name?
Because people from across the world are donating to the truckers. So he's calling that foreign. I swear, I saw the interview last night at CTV. I'm sitting there, right?
It is foreign
I was about to
influence.
pour myself a drink, but I just knew that. I have a couple of drinks. I'll keep going.
Money
I
coming
wanna
in
wake
from
up
Russia.
early
I don't
today,
know. I don't know if it's coming in
to
from
hit
Russia.
this.
Wow.
But honestly,
Right? Yeah, he's talking about foreign interference
Russia
on CTV.
is known-
CTV is one of a major news network here.
I mean, one of the. I don't know if Russia's too focused on it now. They got a war they got to wage, but they definitely were behind like a separatist movements. And we know that Lich was part of Wexit. So yeah, maybe there's an old tie there that got renewed. We know that these people aren't like, they don't have this kind of money. No, everybody's strung out and stretched thin. So where is this money coming from? And we're also starting to see this movement in like UK, and I heard in New Zealand. Like, why would this be happening in New Zealand, where they had like less than 100 deaths? I think less than, like, around 50 last time I saw in total. 50 deaths in total. And like, people are trying to do the freedom convoy there. Like, something's up. Something's seriously up.
Virtual war for freedom. From the spirit does flow action. So here we are.
Even after this fizzles out, I'm still going to be interested. I want to know where the money came from.
Yeah. And it's a global issue. I mean, we're all in this spiritual war together.
Spiritual.
You know, so let's stand together and stand with the truckers against these globalists.
Is that the airport?
You know, we kind of, after, the channel started popping off a little bit, and, everyone really got into the coverage that Rose was doing on the ground. Everybody really appreciates that. We kind of wondered, what direction do we go in after all this is, said and done, and there's a peaceful solution in the truckers' good nights. What we want to do here at War Campaign in the future is take on the globalists, WC versus the NWO. We want to just go head-to-head with these Marxists and these crazies that are ruining cultures all across. We hope that you'll stand with us. Like and subscribe if you want to help us stand up to globalism. I think that's our main mission here at the War Campaign. So
okay, so yeah, this is the Ottawa. Okay, I was a little confused. Oh, fuck the fucking horns, man. The fucking horns. So Justin Ling says, last night, Pat King put out a call for any available rigs for a secret 7:30 a.m. Freedom mission. I guess annoying travelers is freedom. Freedom Convoy is slow rolling the Ottawa airport right now, leading dozens of pickups, trailing Canadian flags, and loops around the arrivals and departures lane, honking and hollering freedom. That's what we were just watching. Because I'm pretty sure this guy has been out in Ottawa.
And EW says,
he's driving. It's the morning.
Your kiddos at the protest.
He's definitely fucking live.
Teaching them about freedom. Keep it going.
Yo.
Hail Freedom Convoy from Tulsa, Oklahoma, USA.
Hail, brother, and hail, Oklahoma and Tulsa. Appreciate that. Thank you, sir. I think it's very important to teach your children about freedom.
Teach them about freedom.
I'm going to take them again this weekend. This, talking about kids, this was really something off-putting where they're talking about Children Aid Society coming up there, CPS, to protect the children from the big bad truckers. I thought that was something else, a new low for CBC, a new low. Truly a new low. So we'll see how that. Dehors le go. It says on the guy's truck here, on his Tundra, at the back, it says Dehors le go. Hell, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Let me take a look at the chat over here. You're also supporting seniors doing this, says Tracy Hale, sister. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Well, you know what? Seniors need support too. It's funny you say that because there's a very wonderful lady. Her name is Rita, okay? And she lives just down my street in Orleans, Ottawa. I live in the burbs. And Rita, her husband, served in the Korean War, I think it was, Blair. And he passed away. He had, I think he was on the ships, if I remember correctly, in the Navy. And they had asbestos. And he'd been working on all kinds of installation there. He breathed so much in and eventually passed away from something related to asbestos. Well, Rita, she had breathing problems for a couple of years. Nothing to do with COVID, just all before all that. And she just kept on ticking, kept going, okay? And Rita ended up in a long-term care facility, and she was shut in for, she was 70-something years old, maybe 80, coming up to 80, and shut in, and she couldn't get out of the long-term care facility. Nobody could visit her. I don't know how long she's been in there. And at this point, you know, I think you got to have all the paperwork. Yes, freedom, freedom, freedom,
freedom to be stuck in traffic.
Freedom. You know, so there it is, and it is for seniors too. That is so sad to me. Imagine being, hail freedom,
hail freedom.
Imagine being so old, okay, and not being able to get that freedom of seeing your own family, and that's how you pass away. It is.
Yeah, it's super awful. That's why we've been going. That's why everybody's suffering. I hate this take, man.
It is fucked. You got to remember too. It's with the guys. You know, we often will. What's the word? How do you say it, Pat? It's just like
colorful language.
Yeah, we're just drinking and talking, and some of the guys are smoking weed and just having fun. You know, it's legal in their areas, just so you know.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna park and walk. There's a cell phone parking lot of a park around. Let's go.
All right.
We are coming to the border.
Yeah, come back
without
around.
freedom, you have no country.
Yeah, exactly.
Long-term care is like a prison.
I'm getting too fat over this last year and a half, 2 years, anyways. So let me get out over here.
Just gotta walk around.
See what happens.
You're getting
Canadian Tariff is on the move again.
Weeks, you know.
Yeah.
You need to get a Fitbit so you can count the steps that you do in a whole day. You know. What do you think about getting a Fitbit?
Yeah, I can get a Fitbit, man. I don't know if I want to park here. Even these guys, you're gonna fucking tow me today.
Yep, you're gonna tow you.
Yeah, see that?
You're not welcome.
These guys, man, they're something
You're not
else.
welcome.
They're just looking for.
You're not welcome.
They're looking for a reason. I'm telling you. Right now, they're just looking for a reason.
It's their freedom, brother. They got a job to do.
Well, we're looking for a reason for more freedom.
Hell, brother.
That's what
Truck,
we're
yeah,
about.
more
You got
freedoms.
it, man. Let's keep driving around here. See what's going on.
Freedom to not be
Maybe
able to
I'll
park
slow
my
down
car.
Almost to a slow roll.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. You're live, Rose.
Also, I like that we watched the Are We the Baddies clip, and you know he talks so much about like how the skull on their cap made them look bad, and this guy's got a literal skull in a Roman like centurion helmet. Like, yeah, it doesn't make you look too good there, buddy.
Seems like where all the flags and the
Trudeau
barbecuing
equals bloody
and,
hands.
it seems like that's where all the fun is happening.
That's right. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I definitely could get myself a Freedom Burger in town.
Freedom Burgers.
But I want to see what else is going on. Are the trucks going to come down here? You tell me. Don't tow me, bro.
Yeah.
Says Jabby Dodger.
Freedom Burgers and Freedom Fries, everybody. That's what's next.
Yeah, man. We got Eric. He says, y'all to a trap. Trudeau equals dictator, says is Tigger.
Despite
this is
us
fun.
having an
Swampy.
election.
It is, isn't it? 8:36 a.m. Thursday, February 10th. And we are live in Ottawa at the airport where Mr. Pat King has called for every able-bodied man with a vehicle full of gasoline to encircle the airport.
It's wild. Blocking airports now.
So that yes, sir.
Like the
flowing, brother.
Control for me.
They're blocking like international travelers. Like, wow, Canada's kind of messed up right now. Like, what's going on here?
Dude, for 20 pounds, thank you, sir. This is amazing. Second Liberal MP breaks with Justin Trudeau over pandemic restrictions.
Really?
I saw that yesterday. There was a first. I saw him stand up there, and he was a very slim fellow with narrow shoulders. I remember him. I saw that yesterday. I can't remember his name.
There's
Looks like
Lightbound.
there's a second one. Look at that.
And the second one.
So his own caucus.
This is from the Toronto Star. Second Liberal MP breaks with Justin Trudeau over pandemic restrictions. Yves Robillard told the Parliament Hill news outlet that he agrees with Joel Lightbound, who delivered a stinging critique Tuesday of Trudeau's politicization of the pandemic and COVID-19 vaccination mandates during last summer's election campaign. It's wild that they're accusing the Liberals of politicizing the pandemic. It's gaslighting to the extreme. I don't know how the hell you got there. I have no idea how you got there. Lightbound said exactly what a lot of us think. Robillard of Marc Aurel Fortin told the Hill Times. I agree with everything that Lightbound said. Robillard's comments came one day after Lightbound told a news conference that he'd raised his concerns in caucus, but could no longer stay silent and denounced his own government's approach. Quote, from a positive and unifying approach. A decision was made to wedge, to divide, and to stigmatize. I fear that this politicization of the pandemic risks undermining the public's trust in our public health institutions. How did you do that? How did you... How?
Hell, brother. Because Mr. Pat King has asked for 50 trucks.
US2 Toronto, we absolutely can call this a circle jerk.
To appear here, so here we are. Let's find out what's going on.
Good meme. It's an A+ meme. Sorry, I keep refreshing it to make sure we get that little live thing.
I'm going to cut back on the swearing. I know people are like, hey, you're cursing too much. We're used to cursing.
I'm not going to cut back on the cursing. I ain't going to be censored by my audience. This is my stream.
There's been some trans people winning many different kinds of sports athletes, sports competitions, I'm sorry. We just sort of comment on things that, seem absurd to us about how that kind of thing is what we're doing.
Transphobia comments
cultural
incoming.
Critics, if you would. And then it's the guys just talking, but I understand that we've got a global audience. Some people are watching with their children, so we will definitely tone it down. I said, hail, freedom!
They're self-censoring, everybody. He follows it up with freedom. He's self-censoring and then follows it up with freedom.
My freedom.
My freedom to deliver content that is suitable for my audience.
Yeah, I love it, man. I got to get my horn upgraded.
Yes.
Right?
Priorities.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Get a really cool horn.
I'm very happy that I filled up my gas tank. Hey, brother.
Truck, yeah.
I filled that up yesterday morning. Remember that? There you go. Go look at what he's tried to pass the last couple of years. In the chat, we got Gilberto Mendez, who sends 20 euros. Oh, brother, appreciate it. Thank you,
Where's
sir.
Where's my 20 euros in the chat, everybody? Direct capital infusions.
Thank you very much, Gilberto. MK says $20. Keep trucking. Y'all, we with you, says MK.
Man, people are dropping
brother, we got Maria Peel. She sends 28 Canadian. Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you, sister. Hail, sister.
If you want to truth, Google Trudeau brother and his brother has been speaking out.
Go link in the chat. You want to give directly to the truckers. There are 2 links there.
Yo,
one of the Give Send Go for the Freedom Convoy and one for Adopt a Trucker. So you can take a look at that. And
they paying for his fuel.
Block the airport. Yes, sir.
Block the airport.
Says, people that cuss are typically more intelligent. I effing agree.
Yeah, we'll just take it down. It's like I've been meeting a lot of chaplains and preachers and that kind of thing.
So much freedom, they're blocking the border and the airports, everybody. They're literally trying to imprison us in our own country while yelling and screaming freedom. I cannot emphasize how insane this is.
A lot of smack, we cuss, we drink beer.
Fucking Christ.
It's got serious in Rose's hometown of Ottawa with the truckers and the vaccine mandates. So he's doing what he feels is his patriotic duty, getting out in the street, bringing it to you live. Never really done this before until the last couple of weeks, this investigative reporting. We're brand new to the freedom scene. So thank you all for joining us. We're working. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe.
Always got to like and subscribe.
Donate to the truckers.
Donate to the truckers.
Give, Send, Go, and that.
Just don't give it to GoFundMe, apparently.
Now a moderator, brother, if you'd be so kind, I've known this fellow for a long time. Hit it. He says, don't turn BITCH made.
Yikes.
Yeah, no, we're just...
Misogyny.
I mean, we understand we got to...
We've got this global audience, we're doing something
The left has lost all sense of intelligence and common sense.
Do.
Shut the airport down now. What the fuck, man? They are staging police plus military. Please be careful. Ooh, spicy. Why is this not going? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, bad connection. losing our live stream, everybody. Looks like the liberal media has shut down our favorite live streamer. Uh-oh. We're getting jammed in real time, everybody. NSA is on to us. GoFundMe shut it down, yeah. Is GoFundMe keeping all the tips? No, people are tipping through YouTube right now. There's super chats. You can super chat too. If you send me a donation, you get the opportunity to have a robot read your message aloud. Yeah, it looks like his live stream died. Does it still say it's live? I think it just ended. Yeah, it looks like it just ended. Okay, so that was sudden. Freedom Convoy. Let's see what else is happening. Live maintenant. Ottawa Freedom Convoy. It says he's live. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Okay. I can't listen to that anymore.
I saw some up at the top. Yeah, the thing is,
okay, this is live.
Many years ago, the
and it's the morning.
Owned the mill in Almont. Okay. So in the 70s and the 80s and 60s. Okay. No. It closed in the early 80s recession. 60s and 70s, the store used to make furniture. Okay. Pine furniture, antique style, pine furniture in Almont. So all the furniture you see in the store comes from was custom made for the store from Almont. Yeah. Right. So they're not for sale. It's just display. Display. Yeah. I have two very large antique booths, and I also sell on eBay and Etsy. So I go around to auctions and different things. Right. So I just had an eye for it, so I'm like, oh, that looks cool. Thank you very much. It looks beautiful store. That's beautiful very store. kind of you. Yeah. Thank you. Have a good day. You too. All right, so if everybody's down here and you want to check out this store, it's like, I don't know the prices, but that's
the patience is worn completely thin. Immediately end protest or face arrest. Ottawa police warn truckers. So it's over. It's gonna really start to pop off in the next couple of days. Ottawa police issued their sternest warning yet to protesters on Wednesday, broadcasting that they could be arrested without warning if they persist with the occupation of the city's downtown core. The message said if the demonstrators don't stop blocking city streets, they could be arrested, charged, and have their vehicles seized and possibly forfeited. I think we read that direct statement earlier this morning. You must immediately cease further unlawful activity or you may face charges.
So someday I'll take a look.
What time?
But I think it's more of a souvenir type thing than it is actual antiques.
This guy's talking about antiques. Oh boy. Oh geez.
A lot of souvenir stuff. I get it.
It's so quiet and peaceful now. Just like insanely quiet and peaceful now. Oh wow, look at you guys shoveling block. Holy.
You guys look like a couple of terrorists.
Bunch of heroes.
Yeah.
Real.
Tearing it up here.
Oh, got him. Got him, everybody. No terrorists here. Just a bunch of hopelessly ignorant.
Oh, here we go.
No, I won't back down. So triggered. Man, conservatives were losing their minds like a year ago or 2 years ago when blockades were happening. And like, even then it wasn't like, I mean, the blockades of pipelines, I understand and get. Like, that's direct action. And there's like a specific rational argument being made here. These people aren't making a rational argument, so they don't have that that moral high ground to do something like very invasive.
And we actually appreciate at times that there is more.
Pourquoi manier la main?
I'm going to pick a spot here and I'll look at some of the comments. Jens, how's it going?
How's it going?
Has it been like this for a few days? I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like what? Sorry,
There's quite
Jens.
a few people, actually. Considering it's been 2 weeks.
Like, on the weekend it gets busier.
Of course.
And it started on the January 29th was the official first day of the truckers arriving from, from BC, the East Coast, all around Canada, and some from the U.S. as well. So it's been like this since the 29th of January.
29th of January, that's where we're counting from. And we're like February 9th.
Yeah, they're better workers than the city employees. Yeah, you don't see 3 leaning on a shovel and 1 doing the work, right?
Classic.
Everybody's doing the work.
Classic joke. Got him.
Was there Saturday? Okay. How was that? Saturday was probably, from what I saw, Saturday was kind of a party night.
Another
right
party
here
night.
in the center.
Yeah. Auto police are not mandated to take vax, so why should the truckers be mandated, or anyone for that matter? Just so you know, the truckers aren't mandated to get the vaccination. It's a misconception. And welcome to the stream, Kings Nova. They just have to get a test and quarantine. Everybody who crosses the U.S.-Canada border has to quarantine for 2 weeks, and truckers also have to get a test. So that's part of why most Canadians, once most Canadians learned that, once they all figured out what this protest is really about, people got super pissed. Like, this isn't even actually about the vaccines. And it's part of why, like, the messaging has gone in every direction. Like, oh, it's for freedom. Oh, it's against the mask mandates. Oh, it's against vaccine mandates. Oh, it's because Bill Gates put the 5G and the Pfizer virus, you know? So it's part of why Canadian opinion has shifted dramatically over the past week, and why you're going to see police come in with harsher and harsher tactics, which, in my opinion, are quite delayed, considering the amount of damage that's being done to the economy, to people's livelihoods, to their own personal freedoms. There's nothing more obnoxious than, like, as we were seeing earlier on War Campaign's live feed. There's nothing more obnoxious than blocking an airport, blocking a hospital, and shouting freedom. It's one of the rudest things you could possibly do. Who pays for the testing that's required? Who cares? We're talking about pennies on the dollar. Just to be clear, being sick is very expensive. It's super expensive to have someone who gets sick, and if they die, it's even more expensive. So tests are not expensive. They're usually not. It's like, what, a couple pennies? What is it going to cost you? Like what, $20 for 50 of them? Like, or like, what are you talking about here? Or $50 for 20, I should say. Like, what do you do? We're talking about a disease that's killing people around the world, or a virus, I should say. And if that's the reason you're shutting down the economy, causing hundreds of thousands of dollars because you won't pay a couple dollars, like, you see how silly this looks? But when the government comes in and shuts down the economy, it's okay. Generally, well, here's the gambit, right? If you've been paying close attention, it's 20 US a pop. I would have to check on those numbers, but sure, let's say it's $20. Let's take you at your word. The politicians actually usually don't want to close down anything. It is not in a politician's best interest to close down the economy. The only reason they're doing so is because their public health ministers would resign if they didn't. Okay? And then they would lose that election because people would be like, wow, he can't even keep a health minister on his cabinet. I don't trust that person. What kind of crazy person doesn't have a health minister? So what you see is that health ministers who are trained in the science learn from their epidemiological circles that, holy cow, this is super serious. People are going to die from this. And if we don't put in public health measures, which is basically what epidemiologists say is the way to deal with this stuff, you slow down the velocity of the people, you slow down the movement, then the virus spreads less. So the public health officials have a very simple argument, right? It's a very easy argument for them to make because it's economical. They say, if you don't shut down the economy, if you don't put down mandates, then people will die and you'll lose out on that future growth. Losing citizens to death or like debilitating chronic diseases or like outcomes from viruses is more damaging to the economy than shutting down the economy right now. And we're seeing that like especially Taiwan and New Zealand, like some of the companies that did the best at like shutting things down early, it did pretty well. All right. So there's a choice they can make, and there are responsibilities that come from making that choice. Why can't individuals make their own? Just say no. Have you ever tried to lead a crowd? Have you ever tried to lead anyone on anything? It's like herding cats. It's extremely difficult to get a group of people to agree to do a single thing. Even this freedom convoy, people are coming to it with very different motivations, very different reasons or rationales, ways of talking about it. Some people are there to spread the word of God. Some people are there to overthrow the government. Some people are there because they believe that vaccines mandates are killing children, and other people think that the vaccines are a-okay. So anytime you try to like get a large group of people to agree to do something, you're gonna have a bad time. You're gonna have a hard time. So it's not really a giant shock that it's controversial for politicians to go ahead and say, mandates or whatever. And you'll find, like, especially in Quebec, our provincial government got into a bunch of shit for putting curfews up when that went against health mandates. And you see that the public got really pissed with them, and they lost a lot of, like, public confidence because now we're being harmed economically, but not for a public health reason. And that's when, people who disagree with the mandates have the strongest arguments. Because the only reason you should be shutting down my economy or whatever, or keep me from getting to my job or whatever, or like reducing capacity in restaurants, is because it's saving lives. It's saving the hospital system, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You lose your hospital system, you lose your economy, right? You can't have an economy without a hospital system. Just like think of it that way. Oh boy, what is wrong with this speaker? What the fuck?
Keep it private. Let's get this going.
I can't hear him.
Actually, it's pretty good speaker. I don't know if you can hear that or not. But he's talking about Monero for donations. It's a cryptocurrency and Signal for messaging.
You're saying and agree with hearing the crowd. With that being said, it's one side or the other, so why not just separate ways and not force the situation? Because of the specific logic that is because of herd immunity. Because vaccines don't really work or do their job unless a specific number of the population is vaccinated. You don't have herd immunity until you got like 90% of your population vaccinated, right? And herd immunity is important because it protects the unvaccinated, protects the people who can't get the vaccination for health reasons, for political reasons, for whatever, preferably health reasons. And so that's kind of the awful logic we're stuck in. In order for us to create the shield that would protect the most vulnerable among us, we need everybody to get on board. But in order to get everyone on board, we have to use sometimes coercive methods, especially with those who disagree fundamentally with like the whole logic of vaccines or the science. And look, they want to imprison our political leaders for trying to move the society in one direction. Part of the reason we have a political establishment is for exactly this reason. You might argue that Canada has gotten so large that the person on the west side of the country doesn't see eye to eye with the person on the right side, on the east side of the country, east from east, west from west. And that, we can have a conversation about, but we do want to try to pull together. One trucker said it best. He said this isn't a politics issue. This is a global issue. Everyone's going through this problem. We're all struggling. And if you really take that perspective, the real people demanding who ought to be most empowered are the people living in African nations generally. Africa and has a huge amount, has extremely low vaccination records. And a large part of that is because Western nations sort of hoarded ours while we were trying to demand our public to like get the vaccine. Like, please, please, please get it. Other people are standing in line and y'all are dragging your feet. And that doesn't really apply to Canada because Canada did go and get vaccinated. We're one of the most vaccinated countries in the world. But when you think about this globally, there's a huge inequity issue that doesn't really get addressed in mainstream media whatsoever.
Protest obviously doesn't work. Can we use that? Not going to go there. Musicians for Truth. Not yet, eh?
Every time there's like background music, I'm still going to get DMCA'd.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not really sure how any society could navigate through like a pandemic without using coercive methods and not pissing off a bunch of people. Like, I'm not really sure like how you navigate that situation correctly. It's just like impossibly difficult. You have to get 90% of your population to agree on something, but politics nowadays is full of division and politicization and polarization. So how do you get everybody there, right? So yeah, that's kind of like the hard problem. So we're seeing a bunch of red cans. People were like filling those up with random fluids to protest how the police were shutting down their fuel lines, which I thought was pretty weak sauce. Hey, look, police presence. Wowie. See a mother and her child. And this is like, I mean, actually that's not true. Most of them are like older white dudes, let's be honest. But then there's definitely like some family folk in the crowd. You can see another kid right there, for instance. 25% of the people like downtown have kids with them, apparently. Wild. Absolutely wild. And we can't really let that DMCA music kill my stream, so I'm just gonna cut that and maybe we can put on some other music. What's some trucker music? Chill step. Yeah, this is better. Okay. All right. Yeah, I can dig this. It's a vibe. Wait, why did that suddenly end? What the fuck? I guess it was just like weird. Why did you do that? It might have just been like a little taste. Okay, I get it. Okay, we'll find some like really chill music to play and watch this for a bit because they're putting on this really bad music. All right, here we go. Don't want that. Let's try this one right here. All right, this could work. Okay. All right.
The behaviors in a manner that is peaceful is not actually associated with this group. It's a peaceful love, and we're gonna win this. With peace. People who are in a different mindset in a loving way. Yet be persistent in
Be persistent.
Sharing our messages
Share
in
the
a
messages.
loving way. That's why I'm door-to-door campaign
Okay.
across Canada. We gotta reach people.
Gotta retweet. All across
You're
Canada.
too slow. So we gotta work on upgrades. Now at this time, I want to invite Miriam to come up and speak. Let's get
Come on, Miriam. Let's go, Miriam. Keep filling his gas can with coffee. Hey, Miriam. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, war stream went down. Yeah, it looks like this is the only live stream that's up.
Let's all stay here to the very end, no matter what. They will not take us down. Together we are strong.
Stay here to the end, everybody.
Freedom!
Freedom is your god. Yeah. That's what she had to say, everybody. Freedom is your god. That's right. Freedom is your god. You're free to be dumb. It's your god. Don't be a sod. Just let freedom be your god. Yeah.
Okay, so I need a few seats in front of the stage right here. Okay, we're gonna do a close-up special. Raising spirit is so important. You gotta keep your spirit up. Really easy to keep the spirit. You gotta keep your spirit up. You gotta keep our
Loving like the speech in the background. Okay. Alright.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking for him. I have not seen him.
You haven't seen him? I don't know either. Just goes so hard. Hey, they finally fixed it. Look at that. They fucking put flowers and love at the base of Terry Fox. They got it right, everybody. They understand what Terry Fox stands for. Doesn't that feel good? Okay.
I don't know who that is. Sam
I don't-
the caveman. I'll have to check that out.
I don't know who that is either. Oh man, I wish you'd go back to the speeches though.
I was just gonna walk away because I thought they were gonna play music and YouTube would give me a strike. I'm like,
Yeah, see? It's all about... That's why we're listening to this funky fresh music. Yo, firefighter. Oh, that bass. Okay.
oh, I guess this one's probably over there.
Yeah, let's party. It's too bad we didn't find this music when when Warhammer had his stream up. This is great driving music. You know, when you're going around and you want to block the Ottawa airport because you believe in some crazy nonsense you read online, you gotta have some music that slaps. Can't just block the airport with some weak-ass tunes. These people are dancing. They know. They get it.
Thank you so much, kids. You're gonna do what you can to keep your spirit up, okay? And that means reaching out to your neighbors that you haven't seen in a while. Maybe you haven't talked to your neighbors for a while.
Have you talked to your neighbors?
Mindset. Well, guess what, folks? It's time to reach out again. It's time to reach out again.
Gotta reach out.
If your interaction with your neighbor was something negative, it's
Got to
time
reach out.
again. Because this stuff needs to happen. This stuff needs to happen at least once a week, better yet every day. When we just get together with the people near us, we have some fun.
We have some fun, everybody. Isn't that true? We have some fun.
So let's keep on kids.
It's too bad, like, the raw footage of, like, the speeches is always so boring. Usually, like, it's supposed to be the most exciting part of it. It's always so insanely boring.
I've been following you since you got in that truck and started driving across. So. Yeah, awesome.
Nice.
We watch it every show. What's your name? Scott. My YouTube is Antifa Province.
Antifa Province.
Okay.
It's the Antifers.
Small little channel. It's monetized, but it's about selling antiques.
Oh, antiques.
On eBay, I have 2 antiques.
He sells antiques, everybody.
Right. But I thought, I gotta get the word out. So I was coming here, I saw your video. I went to Convoy in North Bay and followed him across to here. 350 clicks. Amazing video.
Amazing.
Going on the highway and everywhere. Just everywhere. I can't imagine what you guys saw. Yeah.
I recorded it all.
I watched every episode, probably 3 or 4 times, man. Yeah. Great stuff. Yeah. No, you couldn't. We went, what, 3.5 hours to here from North Bay? Yeah.
3.5 hours.
We couldn't cover it all. Like, you get in a little small town and there's 100, 200 people, fireworks, everything.
Ooh.
You just drive out the country and there's side of the road, one person with a flag, everyone with a sign. I can't imagine, you know. Yeah. It's very insane.
Uh-huh.
Do you mind if I get on video on Comic Talk? Do you mind if I make I know you are, I know. But your videos are great, awesome.
Videos are great.
Shared them on my YouTube. I put it under community and I kept sharing them.
They're just like bigging each other up. YouTube creators unite. This is no longer about truckers. This is about my YouTube channel. Gotta get those numbers higher. Gotta make them rise higher than those horns blaring. Come on. Come on. Alright, this is stupid. I actually have to get to work. I gotta go work for the man. So the live streams are pretty lame as shit right now. He's just kind of bigging up each other. So we're gonna end as we always do, but this time with some good music. I hope you had a lovely day. Hope you're gonna have a lovely day. You're just starting it. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And don't forget to be that first follower. Tell people about this incredible stream. The chill vibes. The great analysis. There's so few good Canadian voices in the political sphere. We gotta big each other up. So we're gonna send you over. We're gonna go raid someone in the fam. That's it. Do it for the Vine. Vines are still in, everybody. I'm feeling very musical today, so we're gonna send it to another musician. Big up his day. Make him feel good. He's doing the daily dose. So we're gonna go raid Preach. Everybody loves Preach. I hope you had a lovely day. Enjoyed your time. All right, everybody. Let's go say hi to Preach and wish him a great day. He's starting his day soon. He's gonna be all pumped up, ready to go. Y'all have a nice one. See you later. See you tomorrow morning. Bye, everyone.